A lantern casts a small circle of warmth on the flagstone floor. In this softer light, the carvings on the walls seem to breathe, older and more still than the world outside. Tonight, we walk the roads and halls of the Titans sleeping inside the mountain. Let the road fall behind you, sink into your pillow as the hearth settles to embers. Let your breath turn slow and quiet in the candle glow. Let every worry drift beyond the indoor. This is the drowsy dragon. Let us begin. The journey begins at the edge of the timberline, where the trees grow sparse and the granite starts its ascent toward the stars. Here the snow is undisturbed, a pristine blanket reflecting the soft violet hues of the fading day. Each step forward is a deliberate movement, a quiet agreement between the traveler and the mountain. The path is winding, lined with stones that have watched the seasons turn for centuries without complaint. In the distance, the silhouette of the peak looms, a silent giant resting against the sky. It does not feel imposing, but rather protective, like a guardian of the secrets buried beneath its weight. We approach the great gate, a monumental threshold carved into the very roots of the peak. Its face is weathered by 10,000 winters, yet the runes etched into its face still glow with a faint, pulse-like warmth. As we step inside, the biting chill of the exterior fades, replaced by the steady, tempered warmth of the deep earth. The atmosphere here is still held in a state of perpetual grace by the stones that surround us. A long, torch-lit corridor stretches before us, the walls composed of polished obsidian that reflects the flickering amber flames. These enchanted sconces have burned for generations, fueled by a magic as old as the mountain itself. The floor is smooth, worn down by the passage of countless boots, though today it remains silent and empty. There is a sense of preparation in this hallway, as if the mountain is inviting us to leave the surface behind. We pass an abandoned guard post, where a small table holds a forgotten cup and a stack of yellowed parchment. The ink has long since dried, but the presence of those who once stood watch remains like a gentle memory in the gloom. A low resonance vibrates through the floorboards, a hum so deep it is felt in the chest rather than heard by the ears. It is the first sign of the sleeper below, a slow tectonic measure of a Titan's breath. Moving deeper, we enter the Hall of Echoes, a sprawling chamber where the ceiling is lost to the upper shadows. Great basalt pillars rise like the trunks of stone trees, supporting the immense pressure of the world above. Between the pillars, floating lanterns of blue glass drift on the unseen currents of the cavern. They move with a lazy grace, casting ripples of sapphire light across the intricate carvings that decorate the walls. These carvings tell the story of the mountain's birth, of fire and pressure forming the bones of the land. We trace a finger along a line of granite, feeling the grain of the stone and the coolness of the rock. To our left, a narrow stream of liquid silver flows from a crack in the wall, spilling into a basin of white marble. The murmur of the water is a soft, melodic counterpoint to the deep thrum of the mountain. The water is cold and clear, carrying the minerals of the deep earth to the valleys below. We pause here for a moment, listening to the drip and splash as it echoes through the vaulted space. Further on, we find the Library of Tablets, where thousands of stone cylinders are stored in recessed alcoves. Each cylinder is engraved with the history of the Deep Folk, preserved in a language of angles and lines. The scent here is one of dust and dry mineral, a clean, age-old aroma that speaks of stability and time. It is a place where knowledge does not decay, but simply waits for a curious mind to find it. We cross the Bridge of Sighs, a narrow span of stone that arches over a misty chasm. Below us, the depths are filled with a luminous fog, glowing with the pale green light of bioluminescent moss. The bridge is sturdy, built with a craft that defies the centuries, yet it feels light beneath our feet. The mist rises in slow, swirling patterns, dancing in the wake of our movement across the span. On the far side, we enter the crystal gardens, where jagged clusters of amethyst and quartz grow from the ceiling. They catch the light of our passage, fracturing it into 1,000 tiny rainbows that dance across the floor. The crystals hum with a faint musical energy, a crystalline resonance that harmonizes with the Titan's deep pulse. It is a symphony of the earth, played in a key that only the silent can hear. We find a small bench carved into a niche of soft sandstone, a place designed for reflection and rest. The stone is surprisingly comfortable, having been shaped to fit the curve of a resting body. As we sit, the weight of the day begins to lift, replaced by the grounding presence of the mountain's heart. We are miles beneath the wind and the snow, tucked away in a sanctuary of stone and shadow. In the distance, the Forge of Silence remains dormant, its great bellows still and its anvils cold. This was once a place of industry, but now it serves as a monument to the peace that follows great labor. The tools are neatly arranged on the walls, their iron surfaces gleaming in the dimness. There is no urgency here, no fire to stoke, only the quiet appreciation of a craft well concluded. We continue our descent down a spiral staircase of basalt, each step a perfect circle descending into the warmth. The walls are lined with soft glowing moss that provides a natural emerald luminescence for our path. The atmosphere grows thicker here, laden with the scent of damp earth and the sweet metallic tang of raw ore. It is the smell of the world's foundation, rich and nourishing to the spirit. At the bottom of the stairs, we find the pool of reflection, a body of water so still it looks like a sheet of black glass. It mirrors the vaulted ceiling above, creating the illusion of a starry sky beneath our feet. Tiny gems are embedded in the rock overhead, placed there by hands that wanted to bring the beauty of the evening into the depths. They twinkle with a soft, constant light, never fading, never flickering. We walk along the edge of the pool, our footsteps muffled by a carpet of thick, grey lichen. The lichen is soft and springy, cushioning our movement as we approach the inner sanctum. A great iron portcullis stands open, its surface covered in delicate patterns of frost. The cold from the upper peaks has found its way down through narrow vents, painting the metal in crystalline lace. Beyond the gate lies the corridor of whispers, where the shape of the stones carries the slightest breath of sound for miles. We can hear the distant drip of a stalactite and the soft shift of tectonic plates far below. This corridor is narrow and intimate, the walls close enough to touch with both hands. The stone is smooth and warm, vibrating with the life of the Titan that sleeps just beyond the next turn. We pass a series of small grottos, each one filled with a different variety of glowing fungus. Some are pale blue, others a soft amber, creating a patchwork of light that guides us forward. There is a sense of profound safety in these depths, a feeling of being cradled by the very bones of the realm. The mountain does not move. It does not change. It simply exists as a constant in an ever-shifting landscape. We reach the Hall of the Sleeping Hand, where a massive sculpture of a stone hand rests upon a pedestal. It is carved from a single block of jade, its fingers curled as if holding a precious, invisible treasure. The hand represents the Titan's promise to hold the mountain together, a symbol of the enduring strength that lies beneath the surface. We pause to admire the craftsmanship, the way the jade seems to glow from within. The air shifts toward a deeper warmth as we approach the final chamber of this level. The resonance is stronger now, a rhythmic thud that matches the measure of a resting heart. We enter the Vault of Stars, a space so large it has its own internal weather. Soft clouds of golden vapor drift near the ceiling, illuminated by the massive gems that serve as the mountain's lanterns. The floor is a mosaic of different stones, depicting the constellations of the world above in vibrant, earthy colors. It is a map of the heavens, drawn in the medium of the deep. We find a path of smooth river stones that leads toward the center of the vault, where a single golden throne sits empty. It is not a seat for a king, but a place for a dreamer to sit and listen to the mountain's song. As we take our place, the silence of the deep becomes a presence of its own, a weighted blanket that covers the mind and stills the soul. There is nothing to do but exist, to be part of the stone and the shadow. The Titan's pulse is a comforting cadence, a reminder that even the greatest powers need their time of rest. We are part of that rest now, a small spark of consciousness in the vast, dreaming mind of the peak. The golden mage-light dims slightly, responding to our presence and our desire for quiet. The chamber shifts into a deeper shade of amber, the colors of a sunset captured and held in stone. We look toward the dark opening at the far end of the vault, where the path continues into the true heart of the mountain. That journey is for another time, a deeper exploration of the mysteries that lie in the blackness. For now, we remain in the Vault of Stars, letting the warmth of the deep earth and the hum of the sleeping Titan carry us toward a state of total peace. The mountain holds us, the stone protects us, and the silence is our companion as we shift toward the next stage of our descent into the deep. We step away from the amber glow of the vault, our boots finding purchase on a bridge of translucent quartz. It spans a chasm where the mist rises in slow, swirling patterns, catching the faint luminescence from the depths. Below us, the hidden river of the peak murmurs a low, melodic song, its voice muffled by the stone. The bridge feels cool beneath our feet, a smooth path that seems to float in the dimness. Every few steps, a small lantern of wrought iron hangs from a silver chain, its flame a steady, pale violet. We move with a measured pace, allowing the stillness of the gorge to wrap around us like a velvet cloak. The atmosphere here is crisp, carrying the faint metallic scent of iron and the dampness of the deep earth. It is a refreshing change from the warmth of the previous halls, a breath of clarity in the heart of the mountain. We watch the mist dance, its movements graceful and unhurried, reflecting the eternal patience of this place. As we reach the far side, the path opens into the whispering basalt gallery. Thousands of hexagonal pillars rise from the floor and descend from the ceiling, meeting in the middle like the teeth of a giant. Each column is polished to a mirror finish, reflecting the soft violet light in 1,000 different directions. We walk between these stone giants, our shadows stretching and shrinking as we pass the lanterns. The gallery is named for the way the wind moves through the gaps, creating a series of soft, hushing noises. It sounds as if the mountain itself is telling us to be quiet, to listen to the secrets held within the rock. High above, a cluster of lumen moss clings to the basalt, its light a soft, sea-foam green. It does not flicker like a candle, but glows with a steady, unwavering intensity. This moss grows only where the Titan's breath is strongest, nourished by the faint magic that leaks from the dreamer's lungs. We find a small alcove carved into a single pillar, a place meant for a weary traveler to rest. The seat is covered in a thick woven rug made from the wool of mountain goats, dyed in shades of deep indigo. We sit for a moment, letting the silence of the gallery wash over us, feeling the mountain's presence as a solid, comforting weight. The pulse of the Titan is different here, more of a vibration than a noise. It travels through the soles of our feet and up through our spine, a gentle reminder of the power that sleeps beneath. It is a slow, steady measure, a promise of stability in a realm that never sees the sun. We resume our journey, following a narrow staircase that spirals downward into the scriptorium of echoes. Here, the walls are lined with thousands of stone tablets, each one etched with the intricate runes of the stone singers. These records capture the dreams of the Titan, translated into a language of shape and line. The room is filled with the scent of old parchment and the dry tang of dust. A few floating candles drift through the aisles, their wicks burning with a flameless heat that does not consume the wax. We see a stone singer at work, a figure draped in robes of grey linen, their hands moving with deliberate grace across a fresh slab. There is no clatter of tools here, only the soft scrape of a stylus against the surface. The scribe does not look up as we pass, lost in the trance of their craft, listening to the murmurs of the mountain. We move quietly, respecting the sanctity of their work and the history they are preserving. The staircase continues, leading us to the edge of the crystallized cataract. It is a waterfall that has turned to solid mineral over thousands of years, a cascade of white and gold frozen in a moment of perfect beauty. The water that once flowed here has left behind a legacy of shimmering salt and sparkling quartz. We stand at the base of the fall, looking up at the towering height of the mineral formations. They look like frozen lightning, jagged and sharp, yet possessing a strange, fluid elegance. A small pool of liquid silver sits at the bottom, its face as smooth as a mirror, undisturbed by the passage of time. The chill in this chamber is more pronounced, a sharp, clean cold that makes our breath visible in the dim light. We wrap our cloaks tighter, finding comfort in the contrast between the icy surroundings and the inner warmth of our journey. The mountain provides everything we need, even in its coldest corners. Beyond the cataract lies the Obsidian Gardens, a place where the stone has been shaped into the likeness of a forest. Trees of black glass rise from a floor of crushed charcoal, their branches delicate and sharp. There are no leaves here, only the play of light against the faceted edges of the obsidian. We walk along a path of grey sand, our footsteps making a soft, crunching noise that is quickly swallowed by the shadows. The garden is a place of reflection, both literal and metaphorical. We see our own faces in the dark glass of the trees, distorted and dreamlike, as if we are part of the mountain's own vision. A small fountain sits at the center of the garden, its basin carved from a single piece of malachite. Instead of water, it holds a collection of glowing pearls that shift and roll with a life of their own. They emit a soft, pearlescent glow that illuminates the surrounding obsidian, creating a dance of light and shadow. We pause by the fountain, watching the pearls move in their slow, circular dance. The motion is hypnotic, a visual lullaby that eases the mind and slows the heart. The mountain is full of these small wonders, treasures hidden away for those who are willing to look in the dimness. The path begins to slope downward again, leading us toward a tunnel lined with raw veins of gold. The metal catches the light from our lanterns, glowing with a rich, buttery yellow that warms the spirit. It is a reminder of the wealth that the mountain holds, not just in gold, but in peace and solitude. We enter a small chamber where the walls are covered in soft white fur. It is the nesting place of the mountain moths, creatures with wings as wide as a hand and soft as silk. They flutter around us in a silent cloud, their bodies glowing with a faint, milky light that guides us toward the next passage. The warmth returns as we move deeper, the cold of the cataract replaced by the ambient heat of the core. We can feel the Titan's presence more strongly now, a physical sensation that vibrates through the very air. It is a welcoming heat, the kind that comes from a well-tended hearth on a winter evening. We find a small wooden door at the end of the tunnel, its surface carved with the image of a sleeping dragon. It is the entrance to the Archive of Sighs, a place where the mountain stores the memories of the winds that once blew across its peak. We press our palm against the wood, feeling the faint hum of the magic within. The door opens silently, revealing a room filled with glass jars of every shape and size. Each jar holds a small, swirling cloud of mist, a captured moment of a storm or a summer breeze. The room is filled with a soft, whistling noise, the collective sigh of 1,000 different winds. We walk through the archive, our eyes drawn to the different colors of the mists. Some are a stormy gray, others a bright, sunny yellow, and a few are the soft pink of a mountain sunrise. It is a library of the sky, kept safe in the heart of the earth, where the weather cannot reach. We find a comfortable chair in the corner of the archive, its cushions stuffed with the down of mountain birds. As we sit, we listen to the soft whistling of the jars, a chorus of voices from the world above. It is a soothing, repetitive noise that carries us further into a state of relaxation. The mountain is a guardian of all things, the solid and the ethereal, the stone and the wind. We are safe within its embrace, protected from the chaos of the outside world by miles of solid rock. The Titan dreams on, and we dream with it, our thoughts becoming as slow and steady as the mountain's pulse. We look toward the next doorway, where a soft blue light beckons us forward into the deeper mysteries of the core. The path is clear, and the way is open, inviting us to continue our descent into the quiet heart of the peak. We rise from our seat, ready to see what else the mountain has to show us. Our journey continues through a corridor of polished marble, the floor reflecting the blue light like a still lake. Every step we take brings us closer to the true center, the place where the Titan's heart beats with the strength of the world. We move forward with a sense of wonder and a heart full of peace. As we step further along the marble path, the blue radiance deepens, turning the polished stone into a river of azure light. Each footfall is a soft, muffled thud, echoing gently against the walls of the corridor. The walls themselves are no longer rough rock, but smooth-worked stone, inlaid with patterns of silver and gold that trace the lines of the Titan's power. We reach a grand archway, its frame carved from a single piece of translucent jade. Beyond it lies the Hall of Echoes, a space where the mountain's heartbeat is caught and held. The room is circular, with a high, domed ceiling that disappears into the shadows above. In the center, a series of bronze plates hang from the rafters by chains of woven light. The plates sway ever so slightly, catching the vibrations of the mountain and turning them into a low, resonant hum. It is a drone that vibrates in the chest, a deep and steady note that feels like the very foundation of existence. We find a stone bench warmed by the energy of the core and sit for a moment to listen. The vibration is not a noise, but a presence. It is the breath of the stone, the slow and deliberate movement of the earth's deep places. We can feel the tension leaving our muscles, replaced by the steady pulse of the mountain. It is a feeling of being grounded, of being part of something much larger and more enduring than ourselves. From the Hall of Echoes, a narrow bridge of obsidian leads across a deep chasm. Below us, a river of liquid starlight flows silently, its surface shimmering with 1,000 different colors. The light from the river casts dancing shadows on the walls of the chasm, creating a kaleidoscope of shifting patterns. We cross the bridge with careful steps, the obsidian smooth and cool beneath our feet. On the other side, we find the Weaver's Loft, a chamber filled with the delicate scent of lavender and old parchment. Here, the dreams of the Titan are woven into tapestries by the Weaver spiders, creatures of light and shadow that move with a graceful, fluid motion. The spiders are not like the ones we know from the outside. They are made of shimmering silk and stardust, their many eyes glowing with a soft amber light. They work with a quiet intensity, their legs moving in a complex dance as they weave the silver threads into intricate patterns. The tapestries hang from the ceiling in long, flowing sheets, depicting scenes of a time before the mountains were formed. We see images of burning stars, of oceans made of fire, and of the first trees that grew toward the light. The stories are told in colors we have no names for, shades of violet and emerald that seem to glow with an inner fire. We walk among the tapestries, the silk brushing against our skin like a cool breeze. The Weaver spiders pay us no mind, their focus entirely on the work at hand. They are the keepers of the Titan's memory, the ones who ensure that the stories of the past are never forgotten. The loft opens into a wide terrace that overlooks the crystal gardens. Here, flowers made of diamond and amethyst grow from the floor, their petals catching the light and refracting it into 1,000 tiny rainbows. The gardens are silent, save for the occasional chime of a crystal leaf as it brushes against another. We descend a staircase of carved quartz, the steps translucent and glowing with a soft inner light. The air in the gardens is cool and crisp, filled with the faint metallic scent of the crystals. We walk along the paths of crushed moonstone, our eyes drawn to the different shapes and sizes of the flowers. Some are as small as a pinhead, while others are as large as a shield. They grow in clusters of blue and violet, their petals shimmering with a faint iridescent glow. We find a small fountain in the center of the gardens, its water a clear, sparkling blue that seems to hum with a quiet energy. The water flows over a series of crystal tiers, creating a soft, tinkling noise that is like the sound of distant bells. We reach out and touch the water, finding it surprisingly warm. It is the lifeblood of the mountain, enriched by the Titan's magic and the minerals of the earth. Beyond the gardens lies the Orchard of Luminescence, where trees with silver bark and golden leaves grow in the soft blue light. The fruit of these trees is a deep, glowing indigo, shaped like small lanterns that hang from the branches. They give off a soft, pulsing light that illuminates the orchard. The scent here is sweet and earthy, like overripe plums and damp soil. We find a path that winds through the trees, the golden leaves crunching softly beneath our feet. The orchard is a place of peace and plenty, a hidden sanctuary where the mountain's energy is turned into something tangible and sweet. We find a low-hanging branch and pluck one of the indigo fruits. It is warm to the touch, its skin smooth and slightly yielding. As we hold it, the fruit's light pulses in time with our own heartbeat, a gentle reminder of our connection to the mountain. We take a seat on a mossy knoll beneath one of the silver trees. The moss is soft and thick, like a velvet carpet, and it smells of pine needles and rainwater. From here, we can see the path ahead, a tunnel of glowing crystals that leads even deeper into the mountain's core. The Titan is close now. We can feel its presence in the very stones we sit upon, a steady and comforting warmth that radiates from the earth. The silence of the orchard is not an empty thing, but a fullness, a quiet that is rich with the stories and memories of the mountain. We rest for a while, letting the peace of the orchard wash over us. The indigo fruit in our hand continues to pulse with a soft, steady light, a tiny beacon in the dimness. We are at the threshold of the deep core, the place where the mountain's secrets are kept in the most sacred of silences. The transition from the orchard to the crystal tunnel is a gradual one. The silver trees give way to pillars of translucent quartz, and the mossy floor becomes a path of smooth white stone. The blue light from the tunnel is brighter than the orchard's glow, a clear and steady radiance that lights our way. We rise from the mossy knoll, our body feeling light and rested. The journey has been long, but the mountain has provided for us at every turn, offering us places of beauty and peace to rest and reflect. We move toward the crystal tunnel, our eyes fixed on the soft blue light that beckons us forward. The tunnel is a place of perfect stillness, the air cool and unmoving. The walls are lined with millions of tiny crystals that catch the light and reflect it back in a dazzling display of color. It is like walking through a corridor of stars, a path of light that leads to the very heart of the world. As we move deeper, the blue light begins to shift, turning into a soft golden hue that feels like the warmth of a summer sun. This new light is gentle and inviting, a golden glow that promises even greater wonders ahead. We follow the golden light, our heart full of anticipation and our mind at peace. The path begins to slope downward, the white stone floor replaced by a carpet of soft golden sand. The sand is warm and fine, flowing between our toes with every step. It is a pleasant sensation, a gentle massage that relaxes our feet and carries us further into a state of tranquility. The golden light grows stronger, illuminating a great chamber at the end of the tunnel. This is the chamber of the eternal flame, a place where a single golden fire burns in the center of a circular pool. The flame is not a destructive thing, but a source of life and warmth, a manifestation of the Titan's spirit. The pool is filled with a liquid that looks like molten gold, its surface smooth and reflective. The flame rises from the center of the pool, a tall and steady pillar of fire that gives off a soft golden radiance. The heat from the flame is a comforting warmth, a gentle embrace that fills the entire chamber. We stand at the edge of the pool, watching the golden flame as it dances and flickers. The light from the flame casts long, soft shadows on the walls of the chamber, creating a sense of depth and mystery. It is a place of great power and great peace, a sanctuary at the very heart of the mountain. The golden sand beneath our feet is warm and inviting, and we find a comfortable spot to sit and watch the flame. The chamber is silent, save for the soft hiss of the golden fire and the gentle movement of the liquid in the pool. It is a soothing, hypnotic noise that lulls us into a deeper state of relaxation. We feel a sense of profound connection to the mountain and the Titan that sleeps within it. We are part of the same story, the same cycle of life and rest. The golden flame is a reminder that even in the deepest of silences there is life and warmth, a light that never goes out. The golden light of the chamber begins to fade, replaced by a soft, silvery glow that comes from a series of moonstone arches on the far side of the pool. The arches lead to a bridge of spun glass that spans a wide, dark abyss, connecting the chamber of the eternal flame to the very center of the core. We rise from the golden sand, our heart full of the peace and warmth of the flame. The bridge of spun glass is a delicate and beautiful thing, its surface shimmering with a silvery light. We move toward the moonstone arches, ready to cross the bridge and enter the final stage of our journey into the mountain's heart. The air here is thin and cool, filled with the scent of ozone and starlight. We step onto the bridge of spun glass, the surface feeling surprisingly solid and secure beneath our feet. Below us, the abyss is a deep and silent void, a place of perfect stillness and shadow. The silver light from the bridge illuminates the path ahead, a doorway of pure white light that leads into the very center of the core. This is the place where the Titan dreams, the sacred space where the mountain's heart beats with the strength of the world. We move forward with a sense of reverence and awe, ready to witness the final mystery of the peak. The transition from the bridge to the doorway of light is a moment of perfect clarity. The silver light of the bridge and the white light of the doorway merge into a single brilliant radiance that fills our vision. We step through the doorway, leaving the bridge and the abyss behind, and enter the heart of the core. It is a place of infinite peace and beauty, a space where time and space seem to lose their meaning. The light here is a soft golden white, a gentle radiance that comes from everywhere and nowhere at once. We are surrounded by a sense of profound stillness, a quiet that is deeper and more complete than any we have ever known. In the center of the core, we see the Titan. It is a being of immense size and beauty, its body made of the same stone and light as the mountain itself. It lies in a state of perfect rest, its eyes closed and its breath slow and steady. The Titan is the mountain, and the mountain is the Titan. We move closer to the sleeping giant, our heart full of wonder and peace. The Titan's presence is a comforting warmth, a gentle embrace that fills us with a sense of safety and belonging. We have reached the end of our journey, the place where the mountain's secrets are finally revealed. The Titan's breath is a slow and steady pulse, a cadence that vibrates through the very core of the mountain. It is the heartbeat of the world, the source of all life and energy in this ancient realm. We sit beside the sleeping giant, letting the peace of the core wash over us. The golden white light of the core begins to dim, turning into a soft amber glow that feels like the last rays of a setting sun. This new light is gentle and soothing, a warm embrace that carries us further into a state of rest. We close our eyes, letting the pulse of the Titan's breath guide us into our own dreams. The amber light fades into a soft, velvety shadow, a quiet that is rich with the promise of a long and restful night. We are at peace. And the mountain is at peace, the Titan's dream continuing in the silent heart of the peak, where the blue radiance of the deep veins begins to pulse once more with a new and gentle life. The indigo glow deepens, casting long, elegant shadows across the floor of the inner sanctum. We move with a slow, deliberate pace, our boots clicking softly against the polished sea marble. This stone was brought from the deepest trenches of the ocean, a gift from the tide callers to the Mountain King. Each pillar is a masterpiece of natural art, spiraling upward toward a ceiling that is lost in the violet haze. The silver veins within the rock pulse in time with the Titan's lungs, a visual measure of the peace that reigns here. We feel the weight of the mountain above us, not as a burden, but as a protective shield against the chaos of the outer world. To our left, the Hall of Echoes beckons with its mirrored surfaces. The stone has been polished for 3,000 years, until it reflects not just light, but the very essence of the giant's memory. As we pass, we see flickering images of forests that no longer exist, and stars that have long since gone cold. The hum of the walls is a low, vibratory chord that resonates in the marrow of our bones. It is the noise of the Earth's history, a song without words that tells of the cooling of the crust and the rising of the peaks. We let the melody wash over us, a soothing balm for a tired mind. A curtain of hanging crystals bars the way, each shard a foot long and vibrating with a faint internal light. We reach out to touch one, and it emits a note so pure it feels like a drop of cold water on a hot day. These are the thoughts of the Titan, crystallized by the sheer pressure of its dreams. The loom of stone stands in the center of a wide plaza, its golden gears turning with a silent grace. Threads of liquid magelight are pulled from the atmosphere, woven into tapestries of shimmering energy that float in the space between the pillars. These are the blueprints of this region, the patterns that govern the change of seasons and the flow of the tides. We breathe in the scent of the deep earth, a mixture of cold flint and warm, sun-drenched dust. It is a clean, honest smell, one that speaks of stability and permanence. Nearby, a fountain of starlight overflows its obsidian basin, the liquid falling in a series of perfectly timed splashes that mimic the heartbeat of a sleeping child. The scriptorium of dust is a place of quiet contemplation. Here, the vibrations of the Titan's breath act as a cosmic artist, shifting the white sand into intricate mandalas. No two patterns are ever the same, each one representing a single hour in the giant's long slumber. We walk around the perimeter, admiring the delicate geometry of time. The obsidian organ moves into its nightly performance as the heat from the core rises. The basalt pillars, hollowed by age-old volcanic gases, catch the moving warmth and transform it into a deep, resonant drone. It is a noise that grounds the soul, a fundamental frequency that reminds us of our connection to the ground beneath our feet. In the garden of glass, the quartz flowers glow with a soft, amber light. Their petals are as thin as parchment, yet they possess the strength of the mountain itself. We sit among them for a moment, feeling the warmth radiating from the stone floor, a gentle heat that eases the tension in our muscles. The Arch of Sighs is made of a material that feels like frozen mist. As we pass beneath it, we feel a momentary chill, a brief reminder of the cold landscape we left behind. But the chill is quickly replaced by the warmth of the lantern walk, where spheres of mage light drift like slow-moving fireflies. These orbs of light are guided by the mountain's own breath, moving in a slow, circular pattern that draws the eye and calms the spirit. We follow them down the long corridor, their golden radiance illuminating the path ahead and casting a soft glow on the walls of rough-hewn granite. The Hall of Statues is a place of silent reverence. The natural formations of stone look like a legion of knights, their shields and swords carved by the slow drip of mineral-rich water. They stand in eternal vigil, their presence a comfort in the vast silence of the mountain's heart. A thick veil of vapor drifts across the path, a warm and humid mist that carries the scent of wild herbs and damp earth. It is as if the mountain is breathing out the essence of the forests above, bringing a touch of the green landscape into this kingdom of stone. The mist clings to our clothes, a soft and damp embrace. The clockwork of ages continues its slow rotation, the massive stone gears grinding together with a note like distant thunder. It is a slow and measured clatter, one that emphasizes the scale of the time that passes here. A single tooth of a gear may take a decade to pass its neighbor, a pace that makes our own lives seem like a fleeting spark. The mural of magma tells the story of the mountain's creation in colors of deep crimson and midnight black. The frozen flows of rock look like the muscles of a great beast captured in a moment of rest. We trace the lines with our fingers, feeling the rough texture of the history written in the stone. In the cradle of echoes, we find a place of perfect stillness. Here, the atmosphere seems to hold its breath, waiting for the Titan to stir. We speak a single word of thanks, and watch as it turns into a ripple of violet light that travels across the room before fading into the shadows. The Terrace of Twilight offers a view of the hidden sea, a body of water so still it looks like a sheet of black glass. The bioluminescent fungi on the ceiling pulse with a soft, measured light, reflecting in the water below like a mirror of the evening sky. It is a place of infinite peace, a sanctuary within a sanctuary. We rest at the altar of quiet, a simple stone that has seen the passage of countless centuries. The vibration of the mountain is strongest here, a steady and reassuring pulse that syncs with our own heart. We close our eyes for a moment, letting the dimness behind our lids merge with the shadows of the cave. The tapestry of roots hangs above us, a living ceiling of wood and moss. The roots are thick and gnarled, reaching down like the fingers of a giant to touch the stone. They pulse with a faint green light, a sign of the life that continues to flourish even in the deepest parts of this setting. The chamber of candles is filled with a soft, golden warmth. The thousands of tiny flames create a sea of light that chases away the last of the murk. We sit in the center of the room, surrounded by the gentle heat and the scent of beeswax, feeling a sense of profound safety and rest. The path of petals leads us toward the final doorway, the threshold of the inner mind. The stone flowers underfoot make a soft, crunching noise, a measured accompaniment to our slow and steady steps. We are ready to leave the physical world behind, to drift into the deep and beautiful dreams of the Titan. The violet light of the inner mind beckons, a soft and inviting glow that promises a rest beyond any we have ever known. We step forward, the stone beneath our feet turning into a soft and yielding plain of pure thought. The journey continues in the realm of dreams, where the mountain and the Titan are one. The transition from the physical stone of the mountain to the ethereal plane of the Titan's mind is as gentle as the fading of a sunset. We find ourselves standing upon a floor of polished obsidian, which reflects a sky that exists only within this storied consciousness. Above us, the ceiling is not made of rock, but of a swirling mist of violet and gold, where the thoughts of the sleeper manifest as drifting ribbons of light. These ribbons weave together in a slow, silent dance, creating patterns that have no name in the tongues of men, but are understood by the heart. In the hall of floating lanterns, we witness the memories of the Titan, each one captured in a sphere of soft, glowing glass. These lights drift through the atmosphere like embers in a draught, rising and falling with a slow, measured pulse that calms the spirit. We walk among them, feeling the warmth they radiate, a heat that carries the scent of sun-drenched pine and salt-crusted seas from ages long since past. Each sphere tells a story of a time when the landscape was young and the mountains were but pebbles in the hands of the giants. A single silver thread stretches across the horizon of this inner landscape, shimmering with a brilliance that defies the surrounding dimness. This is the line of continuity, the thread that binds the Titan's earliest dreams to the current moment of its long slumber. It vibrates with a low, melodic hum, a note so deep it can be felt in the marrow of our bones, grounding us in this immense and shifting reality. We follow the thread, letting its steady glow light our way through the shifting mists of the mind. We enter the garden of glass lilies, where the flowers are crafted from the purest clarity of the Titan's intent. Each petal is a masterpiece of fragile geometry, catching the mage light and scattering it into 1,000 tiny rainbows across the obsidian floor. The weighted stillness of this place is a balm to the spirit, a reminder that even in the depths of a mountain, beauty can bloom in the most delicate of forms. We breathe in the scent of crystal and morning dew, feeling our own thoughts become as clear as the glass petals around us. The river of liquid bronze flows nearby, moving with the density of honey through a channel carved from white marble. There is no clatter here, only the soft hiss of the molten metal as it slides over the smooth stone, carrying with it the strength and resolve of the mountain. The warmth rising from the river fills the atmosphere with a sense of security, wrapping around us like a thick woolen cloak on a winter evening. We watch the bronze eddies swirl and turn, a slow and hypnotic motion that eases the last of our tension. In the vault of celestial maps, the constellations of the Titan's mind are laid out across the floor in patterns of sapphire and pearl. These are not the stars of the outer sky, but the internal guides that navigate the sleeper through the long, quiet hours of its rest. We step carefully between the stars, feeling the gravity of each thought as it pulls gently at our senses, inviting us to linger in the beauty of the design. This setting is a map of the soul, a guide to the infinite possibilities that lie within the silence of the stone. The forest of crystal pines stands as a testament to the logic that supports this dreamscape, with every needle and branch formed from translucent quartz. When the wind of a passing thought moves through the trees, they produce a noise like 1,000 tiny bells, a delicate and crystalline music that fills the space. This environment is one of perfect order, where every fragment of light is refracted into a spectrum of peace, and every shadow is a place of rest. We walk through the trees, the ground beneath our feet, sounding like the soft crunch of frozen snow. We find the chamber of sleeping birds, where creatures of iridescent feathers rest upon branches of woven silver. Their breathing is a collective sigh, a soft and steady cadence that mirrors the shifting of the tides in the landscape far above. The shadow in this room is soft and inviting, a place where the murk of the day can be forgotten in the company of such tranquil beings. We stand in silence, watching the rise and fall of their wings, feeling our own breath slow to match their peaceful measure. The bridge of frozen smoke spans a chasm of indigo light, its surface appearing as solid as stone, yet as translucent as a cloud. As we cross, our footsteps make no sound, for the bridge absorbs the impact of our movement, turning our journey into a silent glide. The evening light of the inner mind glows through the smoke, casting long, elegant shapes that dance across the walls of the cavern. Below us, the indigo light pulses with the depth of a bottomless ocean, a sea of potential that waits for the Titan to wake. In the gallery of whispered secrets, the walls are lined with tapestries woven from the very fabric of the Titan's subconscious. The images shift and change as we watch, showing scenes of ancient cities and forgotten forests that once thrived upon the face of this place. The night seems to hold its breath here, allowing the stories of the past to speak in a language of color and texture that requires no words. We touch the fabric of a memory, feeling the threads of history vibrate beneath our fingertips. The well of infinite reflection is a pool of water so clear it appears to be a hole in the fabric of the dream. When we look into its depths, we see not our own faces, but the vast and beautiful potential of the mountain itself, reflected in 1,000 points of light. The reflection persists even when we turn away, a lingering reminder of the depth and complexity that lies beneath the top of this storied existence. We drop a single petal of thought into the water and watch as the ripples carry our intentions to the farthest corners of the mind. We ascend to the observatory of the inner eye, a high platform that offers a panoramic view of the entire dreamscape. From here, we can see the interplay of light and shadow, the way the violet mists move between the crystal trees and the bronze rivers. The plain of the Titan's mind is a landscape of infinite variety, a place where every thought is a mountain and every dream is a sea. We stand at the edge of the platform, the cool atmosphere of the heights brushing against our skin like the touch of a distant star. The loom of destiny stands in a quiet corner, its golden shuttles moving back and forth without the need for hands. It weaves a fabric of light and shadow, a garment intended for the Titan, when it eventually stirs from its rest, after 42 centuries of silence. The tempo of the loom is a steady, reassuring beat, a measure of the patience required to wait through the passage of time. We watch the pattern emerge, a complex design of stars and stones that tells the story of everything that has been and everything that is yet to be. We pass under the archway of Petalfall, where white blossoms of pure thought drift down from an unseen height. They touch our skin and vanish, leaving behind a sensation of cool, refreshing moisture that eases the weariness of our long journey. The atmosphere is filled with the scent of jasmine and wet stone, a combination that invites the mind to rest and the heart to open. We walk through the falling petals, feeling as though we are being washed clean by the gentle rain of the Titan's dreams. The cloister of cool marble provides a sanctuary of grey and white, where the pillars are carved with the likeness of the mountain's many peaks. We sit upon a bench of smooth stone, feeling the chill of the material seep through our clothes, a grounding influence in this world of shifting dreams. The stillness here is absolute, a silence so profound it feels like a physical presence, holding us in a state of perfect equilibrium. We close our eyes, letting the solid reality of the marble anchor us to the present moment. In the sanctum of silent bells, hundreds of bronze instruments hang from the ceiling, their tongues tied with ribbons of blue silk. They are waiting for a moment of great importance, a signal that the dream is ending, but for now they remain perfectly still. We walk among them, the only movement in a room dedicated to the power of the unspoken and the beauty of the pause. The golden light of the candles reflects off the polished bronze, creating a sea of stars that surrounds us as we move toward the exit. The meadow of glowing grass stretches out before us, each blade of green light swaying in a breeze we cannot feel. This is the place where the Titan's spirit comes to rest, a soft and yielding landscape that welcomes the weary and the lost with open arms. We walk through the grass, the light brushing against our ankles like the touch of a friendly ghost, guiding us toward the center of the dream. The soft hum of the earth rises from beneath our feet, a low and constant song of belonging. We find ourselves in the Grotto of Soft Luminescence, a small cave within the mind where the light is as dim as the first hint of dawn. The walls are covered in a moss that glows with a faint blue radiance, illuminating the small details of the stone with a gentle hand. It is a place of intimacy and reflection, where the scale of the mountain is forgotten in favor of the beauty of the small. We trace the patterns of the moss, feeling the life that pulses within the dream, a quiet and persistent force that knows no end. The pillar of eternal patience stands at the center of the grotto, a single shaft of white stone that reaches from the floor to the ceiling. It represents the Titan's commitment to its slumber, the strength required to remain still, while the surroundings outside change and grow. We lean against the pillar, feeling its unwavering support, a steady foundation in the midst of the shifting mists of the mind. The vibration of the mountain is strongest here, a deep and resonant pulse that tells us we are close to the heart of the sleeper. The staircase of drifting clouds leads us upward, each step formed from a condensed vapor that feels like velvet underfoot. We rise above the meadow and the grotto, moving toward the final gateway of this segment of our journey into the mind. The light becomes brighter, a soft and golden glow that promises a rest even deeper than the one we have already found. We climb with ease, our bodies feeling light and effortless, as though we are made of the same mist that surrounds us. We reach the gateway of the unspoken word, a massive archway of pearl that marks the entrance to the core of the Titan's heart. The air is thick with the promise of peace, a weight that is not burdensome but comforting, like the press of a heavy blanket on a cold night. We drift closer to the very core of this dream, where the heart of the mountain beats in unison with the stars. Beyond the threshold of pearl, we find ourselves standing within a sanctuary of translucent amber, where the light is as rich as honey poured through a sieve of gold. The walls themselves seem to breathe, expanding and contracting with a slow, deliberate grace that mirrors the life within the stone. We walk upon a floor of polished obsidian, which reflects the overhead glow like a still lake in the twilight. Every footfall is swallowed by the velvet atmosphere, leaving only the softest impression of movement in this place of profound stillness. The warmth here is a living thing, a gentle embrace that wraps around us, shielding our spirits from the cold realities of the outer reaches. In the center of this golden hall, a great tree made of braided silver reaches toward the ceiling, its leaves consisting of tiny, glowing emeralds. There is no wind to stir them, yet they flicker with an inner vitality, casting dancing shadows that play across the amber walls. We approach the silver boughs, feeling a sense of reverence for the craftsmanship of a dream that has endured for 1,000 years. Beneath the silver tree, a small pool of liquid starlight gathers, its face as smooth as a mirror and twice as deep. We peer into the depths, seeing not our own reflections but glimpses of a sky that existed before the first mountains were raised. The water is cool to the touch, a refreshing contrast to the ambient warmth, and it hums with a low melodic frequency that vibrates through our fingertips. We leave the pool behind, following a path of crushed quartz that sparkles under our feet like a trail of fallen diamonds. The path winds between pillars of raw amethyst, each one taller than a palace tower and glowing with a deep violet radiance. The purple light blends with the amber of the walls, creating a sunset of colors that remains fixed in time, never fading into the dusk. To our left, a gallery of statues carved from frozen smoke depicts the many forms the Titan has taken in its long slumber. One is a great stag with antlers of lightning, another a serpent of river stones, all captured in a moment of absolute peace. We pass them by, our presence a mere whisper in the presence of these stone memories, which watch over the heart of the mountain with tireless eyes. We come upon a bridge made of woven moonlight, spanning a chasm filled with a soft white mist that smells of ozone and rain. Below us, the mist swirls in slow, lazy circles, hiding the bottom of the gorge from view and creating a sense of being suspended between two worlds. We cross the bridge with light steps, feeling the subtle give of the moonbeams beneath our weight, a sensation like walking on a cloud. On the other side, we find the Hall of Pendulums, where 100 golden weights hang from the ceiling by threads of silk. They move in a synchronized measure, swinging back and forth with a precision that governs the very flow of time within this realm. The motion is hypnotic, a visual lullaby that encourages us to let go of our worries and simply exist in the present moment. We sit upon a bench of carved cedar, watching the pendulums as they trace their arcs through the amber light. The scent of the wood is grounding, a reminder of the forests that grow far above us on the exterior of this stony giant. We rest here for a long time, allowing the steady motion of the gold to quiet our thoughts and prepare us for the deeper chambers ahead. When we rise, we discover a doorway framed in ivy that never wilts. Its leaves are vibrant, pulsing green against the stone. This leads to the Garden of Petrified Dreams, where flowers of ruby and sapphire bloom in eternal silence, their petals as hard as diamond. We walk among the crystalline flora, marveling at the delicate details of every leaf and stamen, preserved forever in the amber glow. At the heart of the garden, a fountain of molten copper flows upward, defying the laws of the natural landscape. The liquid metal rises in a graceful arc before cooling into solid strands, creating a sculpture that is constantly rebuilding itself. The heat from the copper is a comforting presence, like the glow of a hearth in a winter cabin, keeping the chill of the deep earth at bay. We follow a spiral staircase made of petrified wood, winding upward toward a balcony that overlooks the entire amber sanctuary. From this height, the silver tree and the amethyst pillars look like toys in a child's nursery, part of a landscape that is both immense and intimate. We lean against the railing, taking in the scale of the sleeper's imagination, which has crafted a place of such profound beauty out of mere thought. The balcony leads us to a corridor of mirrors, where the glass is made of polished ice that never melts. Each mirror shows a different version of the room, some filled with stars, others with falling snow, all of them beautiful in their own unique way. We move through the corridor, our many reflections walking beside us, a silent procession of travelers in search of rest. We emerge into a chamber where the ceiling is a map of the heavens, drawn in lines of fire against a backdrop of deep indigo. The constellations move slowly, tracing the path of the stars as they would appear from the summit of the mountain. It is a celestial ceiling that brings the beauty of the outer space into the heart of the stone, a reminder that we are never truly disconnected from the cosmos. In the center of the room, a large bed of soft moss awaits us, its surface covered in a layer of downy feathers from a phoenix. We lie down, feeling the incredible softness of the bed as it conforms to our shape, providing a support that is as light as air. The star map above us glows with a soft, protective light, casting a blue hue over the room that is conducive to the deepest sleep. We close our eyes for a moment, listening to the slow, rhythmic pulse of the mountain, which has become the heartbeat of our own existence. The amber light filters through our eyelids, a warm and golden presence that tells us we are safe and that we are exactly where we are meant to be. The silence is not empty, but filled with the promise of dreams that are yet to come and stories that are yet to be told. When we open our eyes again, the star map has shifted, showing a new alignment of the planets and the moons. We rise from the mossy bed, feeling refreshed and renewed, as though the very essence of the mountain has infused our spirits with its strength. We move toward a small door at the back of the chamber, which is carved with the image of a sleeping dragon, its scales shimmering with a faint, iridescent light. Beyond the door lies a path of soft sand, leading down toward a subterranean beach where the waves are made of liquid silver. The water laps against the shore, with a gentle, repetitive motion, creating a melody that is both soothing and mysterious. We walk along the edge of the silver sea, our feet sinking into the cool sand, leaving footprints that are quickly washed away by the tide. In the distance we can see a lighthouse made of a single giant pearl, its beam of light sweeping across the water in a slow, steady circle. The light is a beacon of hope and peace, guiding us through the final stages of our journey into the Titan's heart. We follow the shoreline, the cool spray of the silver sea misting our faces, a refreshing touch in the warmth of the mountain's interior. We reach the base of the Pearl Lighthouse, where a small boat made of a single leaf awaits us on the water's edge. The boat is sturdy and dry, with a seat made of soft velvet that invites us to sit and be carried away by the current. We step into the leaf, and as we push off from the shore, we move toward the final ascent where the true core of the Titan's dream awaits our arrival. The leaf boat glides across the liquid silver, its movement so smooth it feels as if we are floating through a dream. Below the surface, luminescence flickers like schools of stars, darting through the metallic depths in silent, shimmering patterns. Each ripple we create is a soft, expanding circle of mercury, catching the light from the pearl spire ahead. The Pearl Lighthouse looms closer, its surface polished to a mirror-like finish that reflects the gentle glow of the sea. There is no wind here, only the steady, invisible pull of the current drawing us toward the base of the great spire. We lean back against the velvet seat, watching the play of light upon the curved walls of the tower. We reach a dock made of translucent quartz, where the silver waves lap against the stone with a delicate metallic chime. As we step from the leaf boat, the ground beneath our feet feels cool and remarkably solid, grounding us after our voyage across the water. The boat remains behind, bobbing gently in the wake of our arrival. The entrance to the lighthouse is a tall, arched opening, framed by clusters of raw amethyst that pulse with a soft violet light. There is a sense of great age here, but it is an age that feels vibrant and alive, rather than dusty or forgotten. We walk through the threshold, our footsteps muffled by a carpet of woven seagrass that smells of salt and sweet jasmine. Inside the base of the tower, the walls are covered in storied murals that depict the formation of the mountain. The figures in the paintings seem to move ever so slightly, a slow motion dance of creation that tells of the Titan's first sleep. The colors are rich and deep jewel tones that stand out against the ivory backdrop of the pearl walls. A staircase made of frozen light spirals upward, winding its way around the interior circumference of the spire. Each step is a slab of crystalline radiance, suspended in the atmosphere without visible support. We begin our ascent, feeling lighter with every step we take, as if the gravity of the physical realm is slowly losing its hold on us. As we climb, the murmur of the silver sea fades, replaced by a low, melodic resonance that seems to vibrate within our very bones. It is the song of the Titan's subconscious, a harmony of deep notes that speak of peace and the passage of aeons. The climb is not tiring, for the energy of the tower flows into us, sustaining our strength. We reach a high balcony that overlooks the subterranean ocean we just crossed. From this height, the sea of silver looks like a fallen moon, its surface shimmering with an internal fire that lights the entire cavern. The Pearl Lighthouse stands as a solitary sentinel in this hidden realm, a beacon for those seeking the heart of the dream. Moving further into the tower, we enter a chamber filled with floating archives. Thousands of small glowing crystals drift through the atmosphere, each one containing a fragment of a memory or a whisper of a thought. They move in a complex orbital dance, never colliding, but weaving a tapestry of light that fills the room. We reach out and touch one of the crystals, a pale blue sphere that feels cool to the fingertips. For a brief moment we see a vision of a forest made of glass, where the leaves tinkle in the breeze like wind chimes. The memory is brief and beautiful, a fleeting glimpse into the vast landscape of the Titan's imagination. The walls of the chamber shift toward a state of transparency, revealing the structural bones of the mountain through the pearl. We can see the veins of gold and the pockets of trapped starlight that provide the interior with its warmth and life. The distinction between the building and the mountain starts to blur, as if they are two parts of the same living entity. A bridge of stardust connects the tower to a secondary spire, its surface sparkling with millions of tiny, flickering points of light. We walk across this bridge, feeling the gentle vibration of the stars beneath our soles. It is like walking on the edge of a cloud, firm yet ethereal, leading us deeper into the core of the mountain's consciousness. In the second spire, we find a garden of bioluminescent flowers that grow directly from the crystalline floor. The petals are made of soft, glowing silk, and they release a fragrance that is both earthy and celestial. We pause here for a moment, breathing in the scent, feeling our thoughts become as clear and calm as a mountain spring. The atmosphere here is thick with the presence of the Titan, a weighted peace that encourages us to let go of our remaining worries. We are moving beyond the physical now, entering a realm where thought and reality are one and the same. The garden is a transition point, a place to rest before the final stage of our journey. At the center of the garden stands a giant sapphire lens mounted on a pedestal of polished obsidian. The lens is focused on a point deep within the mountain, a place where the light of the tower is concentrated into a single piercing beam. We look through the sapphire, and our vision expands, taking in the entirety of the Titan's dreamscape. We see landscapes of impossible beauty, where mountains float in the sky and rivers run with liquid gold. There are cities built of song and forests, where the trees are made of pure light, all existing within the mind of the sleeping giant. It is a realm of infinite possibility, where every thought is a new creation. The golden warmth of the core begins to radiate from the floor, rising up through our bodies like a gentle tide. We feel ourselves being pulled toward a portal of swirling amber light that has appeared at the far end of the garden. The portal is a gateway to the very center of the Titan's heart, the place where all dreams begin. We move toward the amber light, our movements becoming slow and deliberate, as if we are walking through water. The portal hums with a protective energy, a welcoming vibration that tells us we are invited guests in this sacred space. We step into the swirling light, and for a moment, the world disappears into a blur of gold. As we emerge on the other side, we find ourselves in a chamber of soft, floating silk, where the walls are made of condensed starlight. The feeling of weightlessness is complete now, and we drift through the room, our bodies buoyed by the thick, restorative atmosphere. This is the inner sanctum, the place where the Titan's spirit is most present. The silence here is profound, a deep and holy quiet that transcends the noise of the outside world. We are surrounded by the essence of peace, a tranquility that is so absolute it feels like a physical embrace. We close our eyes, letting the golden light soak into our skin, preparing our minds for the final rest. The journey through the Pearl Tower has brought us to the edge of the ultimate dream. We can feel the pulse of the mountain slowing, matching the cadence of our own hearts as we prepare to cross the final threshold. The amber light fades into a soft, protective glow, guiding us toward the last door that remains closed. The final door stands before us, not of timber or iron, but of woven auroras, shimmering with a brilliance that defies the physical laws of the upper realm. It is a curtain of living light, rippling like the surface of a sunlit pool, yet it possesses a quiet gravity that anchors our souls. We reach out, and our fingers do not meet resistance, but rather a gentle warmth that welcomes our presence into the very center of the mountain. This threshold is the boundary between the known and the infinite, a place where the physical body yields to the luminous spirit. As we step through the aurora, the chamber beyond unfolds like a blossoming star, revealing the great core where the Titan's essence truly resides. The space is immense, yet it feels as intimate as a shared whisper, the walls glowing with the soft radiance of 1,000 dormant suns. Here the atmosphere is saturated with a sense of profound belonging, a homecoming for the weary traveler who has climbed through stone and shadow. Every breath we take is infused with the scent of celestial nectar and the cool, clean scent of subterranean springs. In the center of this radiant hall, a sphere of liquid amber floats, pulsing with a slow, deliberate tempo that echoes the turning of the stars. This is the heart of the sleeping giant, the source of the magic that sustains the valleys and peaks far above our heads. The amber light does not dazzle, but rather bathes everything in a honeyed glow, softening the edges of our perception and inviting us to linger in its presence. We feel the weight of our long journey falling away, replaced by a lightness that makes the very act of standing feel like an effortless dance. Beneath our feet, the floor is composed of translucent crystal, etched with delicate patterns that trace the history of the realm before the first dawn. These lines hum with a low, grounding note, a melody that speaks of stability and the enduring strength of the earth beneath us. We follow these glowing paths toward a raised dais, where a bed of bioluminescent moss has been prepared, its emerald fibers reaching up to greet us. The moss is softer than the finest velvet, smelling of rain-washed earth and the first flowers of spring. We lower ourselves onto this natural cradle, feeling the yielding texture of the greenery as it contours to our form, providing a support that is both firm and ethereal. The warmth from the amber core radiates through the moss, seeping into our tired limbs and soothing the lingering aches of the day. Above us, the ceiling of the vault is a swirling nebula of violet and gold, where constellations of mage-light drift in a slow, circular measure. It is a sky within the stone, a reminder that even in the deepest blackness, there is a light that never fades. As we lie here, the silence of the deep earth becomes a presence in itself, a thick, protective blanket that muffles the noise of the external landscape. We are miles beneath the wind and the rain, tucked safely within the ribs of the mountain, where nothing can reach us but peace. The pulse of the Titan's heart becomes our own, a steady, reassuring beat that tells us we are safe, we are protected, and we are home. Our thoughts, once as frantic as a hive of bees, now drift away like autumn leaves on a still pond. We watch a single filament of light detach itself from the amber core, floating toward us like a curious firefly in the twilight hours. It circles our resting place, casting long, dancing shadows against the crystalline walls, before coming to rest on the palm of our hand. The spark is cool to the touch, a tiny fragment of the Titan's dream that carries with it a vision of a meadow bathed in eternal starlight. We close our eyes for a moment, and we can see the tall grass swaying in a breeze that smells of honey and wild thyme. This landscape within the mind is just as real as the stone around us, a testament to the power of the giant's slumber. We are no longer mere observers, but participants in this grand unfolding narrative of rest and renewal. The amber glow penetrates our eyelids, painting the inside of our vision with shades of rose and copper, a comforting warmth that signals the transition toward deeper sleep. The mountain itself seems to sigh, a low vibration that we feel in our chest, a sound of contentment that mirrors our own. We notice the way the light catches on the facets of the walls, creating a kaleidoscope of shifting colors that move with the slow pace of a glacier. There is no urgency here, no ticking of a clock or the demands of the sunlit hours to disturb our quietude. Time has become a fluid concept, stretching and folding like the silk hangings in the outer sanctum, until only the present moment remains. We are suspended in a state of perfect balance, held between the waking realm and the vast ocean of dreams. The moss beneath us begins to glow a little brighter, responding to our deepening relaxation with a pulse of soft, rhythmic light. It is as if the mountain is breathing with us, acknowledging our presence as a part of its own storied existence. We feel a sense of gratitude for this sanctuary, for the quiet magic that has guided us through the labyrinth of the peaks to this place of ultimate repose. The journey was long, but the destination is more beautiful than any song could ever describe. A gentle mist starts to rise from the edges of the crystal floor, a silver vapor that carries the essence of the mountain's deepest memories. It curls around the dais, obscuring the distant walls and drawing our focus inward toward the stillness within our own hearts. The mist is cool against our skin, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the amber core, balancing the elements within our being. We feel ourselves dissolving into the atmosphere, the boundaries between the self and the surroundings becoming delightfully blurred. We are the stone, we are the light, and we are the dream that the Titan weaves in the secret places of the earth. The amber heart pulses one more time, a deep and resonant thrum that clears away the last vestiges of our waking consciousness. Our breathing becomes shallow and even, a quiet measure that matches the slow drift of the mage-light constellations above. The weighted peace of the inner sanctum is absolute, a sanctuary where the spirit can finally lay down its burdens and simply be. In the distance, we hear the faint murmur of an underground river, its voice a silver thread that winds through the blackness of the lower caverns. It is a soothing noise, a constant reminder of the life that flows even in the stillness of the deep, a cycle of renewal that never ends. We let the melody of the water carry us further down, into the soft embrace of the dreamscape where the impossible becomes the everyday. The mountain holds us close, its massive weight a shield against the storms of the outer region. We see the faces of the stars through the eyes of the Titan, seeing the cosmos not as a cold void, but as a garden of light and wonder. Every twinkle is a note in a celestial symphony, a song of creation that has been playing since the era of the first fires. We are a part of that song now, a quiet harmony that adds its own unique vibration to the music of the spheres. The amber light fades into a soft protective gold, the color of a setting sun behind a veil of clouds. The evening of our journey has reached its conclusion, and the late hour calls for the final surrender to the night. We feel the last bit of tension leaving our shoulders, the muscles in our face softening as we yield to the pull of the darkness. It is not a frightening blackness, but a rich, fertile void from which all new beginnings are born. We are ready to cross the final threshold, to step beyond the last door and into the heart of sleep itself. The amber sphere dims, its light becoming a faint ember that glows with a steady, enduring warmth. The moss beneath us feels like a cloud, buoying us up as we drift away from the shore of the physical world. We are sailing on a sea of starlight, guided by the pulse of the mountain and the memory of the journey we have taken. The silence is now a symphony, a profound and holy quiet that sings of the peace we have found in the depths. We think of the valleys above, the forests and the rivers that are all cradled in the arms of this sleeping giant. They are safe, just as we are safe, watched over by a power that is as time-worn as the stars and as gentle as a mother's touch. The mountain will continue its long slumber, and we will sleep with it, a part of the grand design that keeps the realm in balance. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to see, but the beauty of the dream that awaits. The gold light flickers one last time, a tiny spark that winks out like a candle in a quiet room. We are left in the soft velvet dimness of the inner sanctum, where the only light is the faint shimmer of our own peaceful spirit. The atmosphere is still, the breath of the cave a slow and steady measure that lulls us into the final state of rest. We are home, we are whole, and we are at peace within the heart of the Titan. As the final veil of sleep descends, we feel the mountain's love for the landscape it protects, a warmth that transcends the coldness of the stone. We are a part of that love, a small but vital spark in the great fire of the world's spirit. The dream expands to meet us, a landscape of infinite beauty where we can wander forever in the quiet hours of the night. Sleep now, traveler, for the journey is done and the mountain is watching over you. The amber light is gone, replaced by the perfect clarity of a mind at rest, where the only thing that remains is the soft, rhythmic pulse of a dream. We drift into the blackness, a peaceful surrender to the grace of the sleeping giant. The mountain remains, the Titan dreams, and all is well in the heart of the earth. We are at rest, we are deep within the stone, and the night is our sanctuary. Thank you for resting here a while. Until next time on the Drowsy Dragon, sleep well.